At the gates, however, stood a figure that seemed to pose almost pridefully in our path. Sam and I stopped our run and took in who was standing in our way. For some reason, he seemed familiar. Who?
Finally, you showed up.
That voice. My mind finally clicked, linking the voice to a memory I wish I had forgotten. However, it couldn't have been. No way! Sam began to growl almost animalistically as the figure stepped out of the shadow of the gate. His face was covered by a terrifying devil mask, but I recognized him despite the fact. His white hair, his red skin, there was no way it could have been.
Missed me, bitch?
Malix!
At the sound of his name, Malix reached up and removed the mask from his face, revealing a large amount of scars and wounds that were hidden away. Despite this, there was also a smirk plastered from ear to ear across Malix's cheeks.
You're supposed to be dead!
You didn't think I actually died, did you? Only pussy little boys like you can get taken out like that.
My heart froze at the fact that he was still alive. It couldn't have been. I'd seen what happened to him. He was supposed to be dead. Malix inhaled a deep breath and stretched out his arms, looking around with the largest grin on his face before turning to Sam.
Isn't this the most brutal war you've ever seen? Legions killing each other for no goddamn reason other than to rule this pathetic plane. It makes me want to make popcorn and watch the bloodshed.
Sam glared hard at Malix, taking a step towards him. Malix, however, cackled in response and locked eyes with the incubus.
Of course! I came here for a reason. I can't just sit on my ass and watch. Too bad, though. This is some great entertainment.
Then why are you here, asswipe? Got a real death wish this time?
What makes you think you can kill me? Besides, aren't you trying to save energy to fight your old man?
Malix stuffed his hands into his pockets and leaned back, puffing his chest out and flaunting the burnt insignia on his chest.
I got sent here by the head of hell himself, straight from the top, and I got the best seats in the house to the bloodiest war this plane has ever seen.
Sam chuckled, cracking his knuckles.
Funny. I thought Satan only gave a shit about devils who didn't get their faces beaten in. Seems like he's getting soft.
Instantly, Malix's face shifted into an angry scowl, making the smirk on Sam's face widen.
Now that you're all hot and bothered, wanna tell me what you're up to before I send you back with your head up your ass?
I imagine you actually physically making that possibly happen.
Well, first I'm gonna paint these gates with your blood. Then wait until this war is over before I annihilate every fucking demon left and make this world a part of hell, just like it was supposed to be.
You're funny for a dead man.
Am I? You tried to kill me once before, dipshit, and look where that got you. Didn't work out so well, did it?
Malix stretched his neck to the side, making a loud, echoey crack sound reverberate through the air. I winced at the sound.
What makes this so funny is that it won't matter who wins this war in the end. Once it's over, I'll send for my boys and we'll fuck everyone up while they're celebrating. Ha! It'll be the bloodiest celebration this plane has ever seen!
You just said that about it being the bloodiest war this plane has ever seen.
Then we'll seal this world and fuse it with hell, giving Satan a whole world full of demon soldiers and slaves at his disposal. The chaos of this world practically begged for a war to tear it apart. Now the Abyssal Plains will truly be a part of hell, like the fuckfaces of heaven intended.
Not if I make sure you don't get the chance, fucker.
Malix cackled wildly, staring at Sam with a maddened expression. His eyes burned with insane bloodlust as he smirked and licked his teeth.
It's this world's destiny, shithead! Even humans know that demons belong in hell.
No, they don't! I felt myself become angrier at Malix. Demons and devils were completely different, and demons, except for the Demon Lord, did not belong anywhere near hell.
Think about it, will ya? How many brainless humans think that demons come from hell? They put demons and devils together like they're no different from each other. It's inevitable! Every shit stain on this world is gonna bow down to the Lord of Hell, and we'll rip apart the gates of heaven together!
Sam stepped forward once more, cracking his knuckles at his sides.
I am so sick of hearing your voice, Malix. Let's just end this.
Oh, I almost forgot the best part.
Malix locked eyes with me, suddenly making a violent tremor run down my spine. His gaze spoke nothing but sadistic intent, and his words made his stare much more terrifying.
Just because I can, after we're done taking over this world, I'm gonna take that human bitch and make her the fuck toy of Satan's army.
Instantly, Sam vanished and reappeared in front of Malix, swinging a punch at him. However, he only made contact with a vanishing afterimage. Before I could blink, Malix had disappeared and reappeared behind Sam, punching Sam's head and sending him flying towards the castle wall. Sam!
Payback time, fuckface!
Sam... nope. Malix flew at Sam's body like a bullet and began to slam his fists into him, the wall cracking and caving in around Sam's body. Stay back. A part of me knew better than to try. Malix probably had a weapon, and if I knew anything about Malix, he would use that against me without hesitation. I was out of energy to defend myself from him, and I'm sure that's what my grandfather's protection spell ran on. He wanted to beat Sam before trying to kill him. His pride was one downfall of his that I remembered very clearly. Malix continued to pound punch upon punch onto Sam's body, making the body-shaped indentation in the castle wall that much deeper. However, with a small flash of red light, heat suddenly began to erupt from the center.
Get off!
Malix was suddenly forced back from a bright energy pulse as Sam pushed himself out of the hole he was trapped in. Around his body were green flickering waves of energy, pulsating in time with Sam's breath. I stared in shock, watching smoke rise from the creases of Sam's mouth and his nostrils as he formed a large sword in his hands. Something in his eyes was burning as he fueled it with rage.
Woo! Got some fire this time, huh?
Malix raised an arm at his side, forming a large sword with a red blade and a chain connecting from the hilt to his belt.
Well, so do I!
Malix and Sam rushed at each other, slamming their swords into each other with reckless speed. I couldn't understand how Malix gained the ability to be as fast as Sam, but something about the devil was very different from the first and last time I had seen him. He was much more cocky, and there was some sort of strength within him that frightened me more than before. However, I felt that Sam still had the upper hand. There was no way he would let Malix win. Sam flipped over Malix and slashed his back, opening the fabric of his vest, but not deep enough to make contact with skin. Malix snarled and spun around, reinitiating their clash of swords.
What's wrong, pretty boy? You seem to be holding back!
I don't need to waste energy killing you!
At last, their swords slammed against one another, a screech echoing through the air. Both pushed against one another, snarling into each other's faces.
It's pointless, Incubus! This world is fucked!
Tell that to Satan when you die!
Sam suddenly lifted his foot up and jammed it into Malix's chest, kicking him back towards the castle wall. With a grunt and the crack of broken ribs reverberating through the air, Malix slid back and glared at Sam. However, the glare quickly died into a look of sadistic amusement as Malix rolled his shoulders and stood back up, as if he could just shrug off the injury. Around his body grew a bright orange and red flame, causing waves of heat to pulse through the air around us.
You want a final showdown? You got it!
Sam, with a smirk of his own, stood tall, with a fast-growing green and red aura surrounding his form. The faint outline of dragons danced with the tongues of the flames as Sam seemed to charge a powerful attack.
It's over, Malix.
I watched as they both charged up their final attacks and forced their palms out towards each other. Green and red orbs of light shot out from each of their hands and collided, followed by a brilliant rays that pushed them forward into each other. Sounds almost like a Dragon Ball Z fight. I had to shut my eyes, blocking the flash of light from blinding my vision, before looking back up and seeing the bout with a gasp. The air around the orbs pulsed heavily, whipping in all directions and fueled by both the demon and the devil. The orbs ground into one another, lightning and fire bursting from the minuscule space between them. Both opponents had their eyes locked on each other as the earth around them bent and bowed away from the collision of their power. The green orb seemed to quake with the shadows of dragons in its center, pressing against the wall of the orb and forcing it forward against its obstacle. Still, they were somewhat equally matched. How could this be?
Give him your remaining energy, child. It is the only way to end this.
Oh hey, dragon, you're still here. The voice of the dragon rang in my head as I stared at Sam. His face was tightened in pure anger and determination. He was giving as much as he could, but I knew he was holding back to save energy for his father. I took a breath and quickly rushed over to Sam, grabbing hold of his arm and feeling his body naturally pull energy from me.
What are you doing?
Ending this together! Sam stared at me, causing his orb to falter, but as I passed my energy on to him, Sam nodded and focused back on Malix, concentrating his orb forward with both his energy and mine. Malix would not win. I wouldn't let him. At last, the deadlock became pressed as Sam's orb pushed Malix's back, inch by inch, with each push getting stronger and faster. I could feel myself grow dizzy, but I didn't care. This was Malix's last stand.
What? No!
I glared hard at Malix as the clash between them became full of green energy, cutting through the devil's attack with ease. At last, the dragons reached their prey as the orb finally clashed into Malix's body, enveloping him in light.
No!
Sam and I held on to each other, letting go of the energy ray, and covered our eyes, with Sam covering me with his arm. We dug our heels into the earth, struggling to stay in place as energy pushed us away from Malix. The gusts pressed and rushed against our bodies until, at last, the wind stopped. Sam and I slowly lifted our heads and looked over, wanting to see what had become of Malix. There was no trace of him. The spot where he stood was charred, and the smoke that rose from the ashes of the area danced in the air like rising dragons. Oh shit, oh. We did it. We finally killed him at last. I crumpled to my knees, slamming my hands to the ground to keep myself upright as I panted. I was worn out. If I hadn't been out of energy before, I definitely was now. Sam quickly dropped down beside me, wrapping an arm around my shoulders and laying a careful hand on my arm.
Whoa! Are you okay?
I nodded, obviously lying, but I knew we had more important things to worry about. Malix was gone, hopefully dead for real, and we were at the castle gates, ready to charge in and fight the Demon Lord. As Sam and I looked up, we both locked our sights on a window exploding outward with a figure flying out of it. As the figure flapped their wings and steadied themselves, they swooped back inside. Diana! I gripped Sam's arm and lifted myself up, knowing that we had to get inside.
You good?
Yeah, let's go. Sam nodded before taking my hand and rushing forward, speeding through the twists and turns of the castle towards the large archway leading up into the tower, where we would hear Diana and the Demon Lord fighting above.